That's why I do the actions that I do. Hello, YouTube. That's why I do the actions what I do because your consistency, your profitability means everything to me. That's why I do what I do. Believe me, I could sit here without this collared shirt on and I could be sitting here in a pair of underwear and, oh, actually, and no shirt on. But, at the end of the day, it's you. We're good on Facebook. We're good. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, how we called the bottom of the market, followed by the top of the market. Is this a joke? Is trading really easy? Are you being scammed up? Are you being flooded with too many things? Are you being flooded with situations in which have too many variables? Or you just want something spelled out very simply in a real time environment so you can make money? I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. All right, so is it really possible? Is it really possible to call in a grindy August? And August is so tough for trading. And it's kind of funny because I've never met anybody who had the statistics to actually say that. How about let's take a top tier one firm who claim that most of their employees take vacation within the final 2 weeks of August. That would be proof of that variability. But the only exception is they tend to take off more often the 2 weeks before Christmas, and December is not a slow month. So outside of that, it's August. So just make sure that when people tell you things, that you're not filling your ears with a ton of horse manure. Because the problem is, the more and more things that you learn that you do not actually know how to fully utilize and use for your best efficacy will end up costing you money. Will end up costing you money. That's why it almost seems too coincidentally random when I could come in on a day like today and just call the dead bottom and the dead top of the market in a real time setting when we were just grinding all day. You might be sitting there and you might be wondering how, or shouldn't you be the richest man in the world if you are able to call out something like that, and things like that. But you know what? I didn't make $5 million off of that call. I didn't make, $10 million off of that call. I did make money off of these calls, and I did make money today. And I just want to show you maybe a different way of looking at things. One of the things that I was always turned off to in trading was the type of all this knowledge that you were supposedly needed to know to make money in an environment. And a lot of the situations would leave you in a guessing game, not whether the trade would work or fail, which is a whole nother subject. I'm going to show you exactly how we call this bottom and the top in a second, but I just need to explain to you with all these parameters and all these lines and all these things. And there are some people who will swear that these lines don't work. And there will be people who swear that your form of technical analysis is not a fully effective edge to make money in the market. And the truth is, they're all right and they're all wrong. The truth is, I will show you some traders who swear by the Fibonacci, make tons of money. I know them, 7 and 8 figure P&Ls, and they make tons and tons of money, but they combine Fibonacci with this, with the timing of the market, with certain names in certain sectors, and they'll make money. So it's not that Fibonacci works or doesn't work. It's that everything can be utilized in a specific situation to make you money. You just have to know how to differentiate between those situations and know how to capitalize. So I'm going to take you to just a chart of the spiders. It works in the triple Qs as well. And basically what we were watching here, and let's see if I could just zoom in for you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to squint at your screen. Here's just focus on the candlesticks, right? We had a very low volume day in the market, by the way. And this is why the strategy worked today. And this is how I called it in real time. So if you see today's spider volume, you could just see 53.6 million. You did 86 million last Friday, 102 million last Thursday, 135 million shares. So you could just tell on the daily chart the spiders doing this amount of volume is low. You could have even told it in the morning. Nothing was a big shocker there. There was nothing that where the news was just explosive early and then very light comparatively to days before. We knew it was a low volume day. Now, how do you take that information? People will say, okay, it's a low volume day. What does that mean? Should I trade lighter? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, this is the magical thing when these things actually happen because it actually takes you to the next step in which you can use certain technical parameters to call the bottom and top of the market. So the question is, when do you decide to use your technical parameters? That changes everything. Now, I'm going to show you how to make it simpler and stupider as well. But first, as I promised, I'm going to show you how we call the top and bottom of the market. This yellow line here, you see this yellow piece of dental floss? I actually did in the Qs first and then spiders after. For the sakes of this example, they both actually hit the exponential at the same time. Because it was a low volume day, I knew an exponential 8 5-minute support was more likely to hold today than not. So what I said was, wait for the cues or spiders. I mean, they move in tandem with each other. It's just a matter of preference of what you enjoy watching for the most part, short of some financial names, whatever, etc. Basically, what I am saying right now that look at your stocks. If your stocks bottomed at about 10.15 to 10.20, it's because of this. If your stock hit day lows at 10.15 to 10.20, a stock you were buying, whatever today, look at that and it should have bottomed at day lows. And this is the importance of the call because I don't always use an exponential 8 to call the bottom of the market. In fact, generally I don't. Generally I don't. So right over here today between this 10:15 and again this is done in a real-time setting in a very the largest crowd here at T3 and it's just being done in a live setting and you guys just have to witness these things if you're going to be successful trading. So here, look, bottom of market call. And keep in mind when I'm making this bottom of the market call, I'm doing it I'm doing it around here, saying that I'm going to call out the bottom in real time. It's like, okay, guys, I'm going to call the bottom of the market soon. I want to see this happen. I want to see this level break. And I'm saying it where you see that arrow. This is where my pie hole opens and words come out. So that's the first bottom of the market. Then we're preparing for something very big this week. And then right over here, we said, actually, what time? I'll ask the room. What time did I say that if the spiders broke 293 that the market would top out? I think I said that around 10:45 to 11:15. Was it around there? Does any of you guys remember the exact time or approximation, a time where we said the market would actually top out at 293.09 and I said it at 10:50ish, Amy? Okay. So just so you know, like right over here, you went long Roku at that time and it worked well. Okay, see, that's also exactly my point. If you were, um, all right, gotcha. So here's the top of the market right over here. Right, I'll draw a red arrow so you could, whatever. Right over there, this is the top of the market. And we're doing it in a real-time setting. And if you want to know what does that mean when you say top of the market, I didn't come out and say, guys, 293.09 hits on the spiders, which is the top here. Then we topped out for sure. I don't, that's not how it sounds like. All right. So I don't want to give myself credit that's undue, but right over around here, somebody in the room asked me where the spiders can top out. And then what I said is wait for a break of 293.09. Actually, I said wait for a break of 292.85. Let it break 293, and as soon as it breaks 293, you could hit a short. It hit 293.09. I never actually called that as the top. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, where you see this red arrow, and I am telling you the spiders, and I'm going to tell you how I called the 292.85 followed by a break of 293 before you go short and buy puts. I did it based on, you're ready? The simple R3 resistance line. Why? Because after 11 o'clock, which was where the spiders, I said it before 11, but when the spiders were at 292, I figured after 11, if it were to hit 293, it would happen after 11 o'clock. After 11 o'clock a.m., we know historically the volume slows down. I mean, you will get the highest volume bars right in the morning, generally speaking, short of intraday, something very big news event happening in the media or whatever. Then usually you get like this period of lull where all the volume actually slows down. So you're getting the bottom of that market call based on this pivot point. Now, based on how the algos react, I would never say short 292.85, which is exactly why I said where you see that red arrow pointing right around here. That's why I said let it hit 292.85, which is the R3 resistance. It's going to break that level. It's going to go through 293. And as soon as it breaks through 293, I would personally look to buy puts. That's how it sounds like. I didn't know if the spiders were going to top out. Oh, excuse me, it was 293.08. I was saying '09 all along. Okay, I didn't know the spiders would top out at 293.08. I did not know that. That was I could not tell you. It could have gone to me. It could have gone to 293.20 and then dipped down like it did. But as my level broke and hit, you got an elevated volume, 5 minute inverted hammer. This that was it. That was it. However, you didn't have to wait to see that inverted hammer. We were calling the short if 293 broke, right at the tip top end of the range. So it's kind of funny when you use two different things completely to call the top and bottom of the market, but in a real time setting, it's very easy to predict in a real time basis. I couldn't tell you tomorrow where the market would top or bottom. Actually, we do give levels that are pretty accurate, but in like a real time setting, I would have to see the candlesticks for tomorrow. I would have to see these things in order to call the top of the market like we did today. So right over here, what we used is we use a pivot point R3 resistance, which is from the pivot point chart, okay? And it's offered for you for free on freestockcharts.com. You just literally click the green arrow and you're in. But on the bottom side, we were using exponential 8 moving average on a 5-minute chart. And that's what we were doing. So by using, and you'll hear all the BS out there that these moving averages don't work. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it breaks through, sometimes it hits, sometimes it bounces. And you'll have traders who say that. And they are right. Sometimes it does hit and it breaks down, and sometimes it does hit and it bounces. But if you apply it at the right time, like we're showing you here, that's where the true value of the technical indicator exudes its value in a very wholeheartedly fashion. That's how you derive the value. Now, it didn't matter if you did whatever, for the most part, it did not matter. I also said it later as well. There you go, Jose. Yeah, I know. But some people want to know how did you do it because I didn't use a trend line in this case. Sometimes I do use the trend line, sometimes I don't. Notice that? I went right to a pivot point R3 resistance. We teach it in the master class, but I'm not going to even show you a link to that because if you want to go find it, go find it if you want to learn about that or just enjoy this for free. But this is how I call the top and bottom of the market. And you have to realize we're saying it before it happens. That is the power of what we do. A lot of people wait for things to break through and then hold it for a while and then move sideways. And people love those things. And look, there's definitely some better than average things that you could do in situations like that. Like if you see uh, a stock break a moving average and start digesting sideways through it, that is one form of thing that anybody can see. Me putting an exponential 8 moving average on a chart, me putting a pivot point R3 resistance standard, not altered, not changed at all from the default settings, anybody can do that. But can you, in real time, actually say, at this exact point, I'm going to use it? Because this is where I have whatever it is, 70, 75, 80, 85% chance of it working. Maybe that's you. Now, let me show you how I made trading easy. Completely different subject, right? Completely different subject. I just thought, because a lot of people were emailing me, Mark, just how did you do it? What trend line did you use? And I just thought I would show you the type of navigation that was needed to be done in order to accomplish that. So already I know videos like this, people don't like calling tops and bottoms in the market. That or they're trolls who left like between 10 and 20 thumbs down on this video. If you want to fight internet trollism today and stop the jealousy out there from trying to jump on our backs, make sure you thumbs up this video if you do like it. Now I'm going to show you what we gave for you guys. I mean, literally on the Newsbeat challenge. And this was in a video that we did on Sunday. So we said Monday EL. And then they said Mark 5 long on gap up names. If the first candle on the 5 minute must be green, right? That's what we said. So just going back to it, I figured we'll go over all of them this week. Since we're on the subject, EL, Estee Lauder. Mark 5 strategy would get you long right over there through 195.97. Boring, easy, grindy. You brought your maximum profit potential through 195.97 would have been 202.84. Would have been 202.84. Digestive and boring. If you did that Newsbeat challenge and you applied the Mark 5 correctly, just as we show you in the Newsbeat Bandit course, it was easy money. The course paid for itself. Literally. And so much more. I mean, my God, the type of information in that course. So that's Estee Lauder. Now, did you trade Estee Lauder today, Mark Melnick? No. But I'll show you what I was looking to do and what I actually did. So I was watching PCG in the morning. We called the Mark 5 short through 1091. Look at that. Because the option puts on the $11 puts were light, my room got to the puts before I did on that one. It was like 90 whatever, 95, 96 cents with a dollar offer. And because I was able to say minutes before, like on this candlestick, that after 9:40 a.m., if PCG breaks 1091, I'm going to buy these $11 puts. And I'm sitting there with my finger on it, and 1091 breaks, and I see what? A couple hundred contracts go off in between like a range. So a couple hundred of the puts went off. It was a grindy bar, went from 1108 high, 1067, never stopped you out. And our target was day lows through 1022 the whole time. So in real time, this is the first trade we're talking about. Now, when I say first trade, I am not here to give you a lot of trades. In fact, I usually won't. It'll be very rare. And it sort of brings out the worst in people when they have many ideas and they have to figure it out, and you can't spell it to them in an easy fashion. So I'll spell it out to you in an easy fashion. If you were able to buy puts or short common stock of PCG through 1091, this is what our first focus was in real time for our Mark 5 short. That's a 5-minute chart. Went from 1091 to 1011, 80-cent drop on an $11 name. That's an 8% move within 20 minutes or less. Less, I just don't remember exactly how much less, but on 4 or 5-minute candles. Obviously not the dead start and dead end of the candle, right? So that's why I say less than 20 minutes. Easy, easy. This is the one Mark 5 I went with, WIBO. This was the Mark 5. And I'm only showing you one strategy, by the way. And by the way, when I show you the names that we are watching, I want you to keep in mind, we are just applying this. We are not making you figure it out. Not you have to sort of guess what this picture looks like, or you have to sort of guess what I mean when I mean this and what I mean when I mean that, and you have to figure it out, but it's great. And I could show you all the bells and whistles that I do when you can do it. No, this is not that's nonsense. That's nonsense for the majority. That's nonsense for the majority. You have to spell it out stupid. These are earnings names that we're watching. Look at the names we chose. We chose all earnings names. There are other earnings names. Weibo, Cena. I was watching those as well. Those were the ones I went to. So let's look at it. Mark 5 long on the gap up names. The first candle is green. Mark 5 short on the gap down names, irrelevant of candle of the first candlestick color. So those were the two strategies. You just apply the Mark 5 long if it gaps up. You apply and you get a green bar, or you apply the Mark 5 short if it gaps down regardless. Now you might say, where on God's green earth are you coming up with that sort of rules? Why? Because it's statistically viable in the current environment. And anybody who is sitting there preaching the same education to you are going to have the whipsaws of doing good when it works and bad when it fails, and good when it works and bad when it fails. And most people are not going to be able to see the end of that roller coaster. A lot of people are going to fly off the rides. Remember the old Coney Island roller coaster? Knock on wood, people flying out of the roller coaster. That will likely be you. Yeah, somebody up front will be holding on real tight. That's probably the person showing you the nonsense. We're talking simplifying everything, making everything easy to understand, and only applying it. We have traders turning consistent every day as a result of that. Is that what you need to do? Do I do other things besides for this one strategy? Yes, I do, because I am proven profitable with all my strategies that I apply consistently. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're good at something that I'm not. I guarantee you are good at probably several things in terms of you being better than me, whether I'm good or not at them. I guarantee you that. Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. A strategy like this, I am showing you, I have found the majority of people can apply it profitably. The majority. Using that word, like from my findings, that the majority of people that I speak to and talk to and communicate to can make money on these strategies is a very bold statement in an industry where 98% of people fail. Believe me, I understand what I am saying and I'm not saying it lightly. So I'm just taking you back to Sunday's video when I literally showed you exactly how I'm going to apply the strategy this week. Apply them on Newsbeat names / apply to anything but beware of wide option on thin names. Tear down or ignore if you wish to play when you apply to your own names. But if you apply to a Newsbeat name, you do what you need to do. So this is what we went for today. Weibo. Was it boring? Yes. Was it profitable? Yes. Mark 5, we bought right here through 40.50. The stock did nothing up until right over here where it busted through 41.10. The target was day highs. We're just sitting there riding it sideways before it exploded up. Exploded up to 42.26. I was already out of my position before then because I was sitting there and I was holding it all day and I was like, all day, 40 minutes. That's like for a Newsbeat Bandit holding for 40 minutes is like a basketball game going into quadruple overtime. Like the refs are sitting there like looking at their watch like, oh God, my wife's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be late for dinner again. Sweetheart, it was quadruple overtime. I can't force them to put the basketball in the net. But that's what I did. The other name I was looking to do it because I didn't do it because it happened simultaneously at the same time was Cena, long through 40.68, another earnings name. So I don't have to classify the gap. I don't have to classify the news. All I am saying, it is an earnings gap up name that was very easy to coincidentally apply the same strategy that I gave you for it on Sunday. If you adhere to this, you would have had a calm, profitable, boring day. I'm not here for thrills and chills. They make very questionable environments if you're looking for that. I wouldn't know of any of their locations though, but I'm sure you could find it online. But right over here, like, so for example, even let's talk tomorrow. So what am I going to do for tomorrow? I wrote down a couple other names just in case, but obviously letters, you just have to follow A, B, and C. You get to ignore one of these based on the gap. So right now we have Baidu, right? So so this is the one we could trade tomorrow morning. I know they already reported, right? So Baidu right now is likely going to open up higher tomorrow. So how do I trade Baidu, ladies and gentlemen? Does anybody want to guess what I'm going to do with Baidu tomorrow? Is it that obvious? There's no really, you know exactly what I'm looking to do, when I'm looking to do it, and if you understand it, you could look at a chart in real time and do it. If you don't even understand it, you could just be inside our room, look at a chart and know exactly in a real time. You could look at a chart tomorrow and you're going to be like, Mark Melnick bought there. I might not know where he sold, but I know he bought there. You knew the first part of the trade. You knew the situation I was putting myself in before it happens. And you could do it tomorrow by just looking at a chart of Baidu. And you'll see if the first 5 minute candle was red, you'll know that I'm ignoring it. And if the first 5 minute candle is green, you'll know I'm probably taking it. Short of like some stupid China trade war news coming out and sending this stock exploding in one direction, most likely I'm going to do it. This is likely what I'm going to do. And the China trade war stuff is great for creating opportunities the next trading day. It's one of those situations where the market pops up or down and it's like, oh, it's long, hooray, oh, short, damn, and like big loss, big gain across the board. That's usually how, when the market just randomly explodes in a direction. The beautiful thing about these strategies is not only they're effective, they're very time sensitive in terms of the shorter you are in these trades working, like 20 minutes, for example, for PCG to hit day lows today, the less likely you're going to be affected by any geopolitical headline simply because you're not going to be in a position that can be affected by it. So that is a very important thing as well. You guys already know how I'm going to do Home Depot. You guys already know how I'm going to do Kohl's. I would add probably I'm gonna watch. I may or may not trade them tomorrow, but TJX is reporting. If you're in the room, you'll obviously see it on a real-time basis. But if you're not in the room, I'm looking at TJX to apply this strategy tomorrow with. I am also looking at Ishii, which is IQ. Stock gapping down. That's like if you don't know what Ichi is, it's the Chinese Netflix, and it's only sold in China. So they have more customers than Netflix, right? Not yet, but they are getting there. Anyway, um, they're gapping down right now. So I might look to do a Mark 5 short tomorrow in IQ, regardless of what the bars look like. Now I'll be doing it in real time. I'll know what my risk looks like. I'll know what my risk profile looks like. And there's times where you look at some of these names and the risk profile just doesn't make sense to you. But that's something that you have to know that you're taking ahead of time. So when I'm taking these trades, I'm understanding my risk profile. I'm understanding what the charts should do for me and what they shouldn't and where I should be holding if this thing were to go against me. So knowing all those things, we're analyzing that in a real-time basis. And you'll hear me say the volume's high here, it's breaking through here. I don't like it because it's doing that, or I like it because it's doing that. But here's the bottom line. If you followed the names we did today and you just applied this, if you applied a Mark 5 on all the names we watched today, you made money. Or you had a very good chance of making money. And again, I'll show you. What do you mean good chance of making money, right? How many of you watching right now feel that if you bought YBO right over here, I'm literally highlighting the point of where you could have bought it. How many people would have made money on a 5 minute chart like this? Or how many of you would have made money on a Cena if you were buying right through here, through 4068? Went to 4097, pulled back to 4035, shot up, hit 4299 and even higher. How many of you would have not made money on that movement? You have to ask yourself this question. It's a very important question. You might be watching saying, no, Mark, that's not for me. How many people would have shorted through 1091? Yeah, it actually went against you to 1108, I think, after it broke 1091, or at least it broke 11, as I remember. So the thing was, in this case, 17 cents against you potentially, considering like the worst from the entry, right? But you knew using the Mark 5, you had to have a stop at least up here. How many of you could have made money shorting through 1091 today on PCG with a target of day lows called out in real time? And it's just these few simple trades which I highlight just to show you that a small sample size, a short day of trading is exactly what most traders need. If you're being flooded with strategies that very few people can execute upon, your odds of success are diminished greatly. Also, be very careful for the type of information that makes things sound easy when they are actually not. You should be able to go back, show everything that happened, show the drop down, show the real time calls without highlighting everything good or bad. I mean, here's the thing. People will always highlight the best things for you. It's easy for me to come and just highlight these best things for us because it's practically all we did. That's why. I could highlight the bad trades and I could there's not supposed to be 20 trades a day. There's not supposed to be all these different names. When you start applying your strategy to all these different names, when you start trading 10, 20 names a day, when people are throwing tons of ideas to you because they're an active trading room, what it basically means is you're going to bat a very low hit rate. And I dare you to challenge it. I dare you to challenge it. I dare you to try the Newsbeat room and tell me, applying just what I showed you. I cannot stop you from pressing the button on your keyboard. I will psychologically try to prove to you why you should do it, but I want you to test it for yourself here. Try this Mark V strategy and do nothing else but that. And tell me that you're not going to feel the love, consistency, and freedom of having a green P&L not only hit your screen, but stay on your screen and not disappear on your screen the very next day. I'm going to go spend time with the Newsbeat Live members right now on our mailbag where we try to answer the toughest questions to try to bring as many people towards that point of consistency as possible. That is for Newsbeat Live members, since I'm only going to be talking to the Newsbeat Live members about this, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Fight trollism today. Fight jealousy today. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. And, oh, final gift, final gift, final gift. Tomorrow's levels. You jerk, Mark. You're not going to show us tomorrow's levels. These are tomorrow's algorithmic levels. These levels don't always hit. In fact, they usually don't. But when they do, I tend to have a very easy time scalping when it breaks support or when the stock or ETF breaks resistance. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.